Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, nestled between misty mountains and sparkling rivers, there lived a kind, curious princess named Celestia. She was beloved by her people for her gentle ways and good heart. But despite all the beauty around her, Celestia longed for something more. She wanted to know her kingdom, not just its grand castles and royal gardens, but its lands, its villages, and its people. One bright spring morning, Celestia stood on the balcony of her castle, gazing out at the horizon. The kingdom stretched far and wide, from the green meadows to the distant forest. "I want to see it all," she whispered to herself. "I want to meet the people who live here, hear their stories, and learn what makes this land so special." Her father, King Rowan, was a wise and caring ruler, but he was protective of his only daughter. When Celestia asked him for permission to travel through the kingdom, he hesitated. "Are you sure, my dear? The world beyond the castle walls can be unpredictable," he said, stroking his silver beard. "I will be safe, father, and I promise I will return to you," Celestia said, her voice full of determination. After a long pause, King Rowan smiled. "Very well, my daughter. Go with my blessing, but take this enchanted pendant. It will keep you safe wherever you go." Celestia accepted the pendant, a delicate silver charm shaped like a heart, and set out on her journey. The Village of Whispers. Her first stop was the Village of Whispers, a quiet settlement nestled by the edge of the enchanted forest. The villagers were known for their soft-spoken nature and their beautiful woven tapestries that told stories of their past. When Celestia arrived, she was greeted by the elderly woman named Myra, who invited her to sit and talk by the fire. "Tell me, dear princess," Myra asked, "what brings you to our humble village?" "I want to understand more about the people of this land," Celestia replied. "I wish to learn what makes this kingdom so special." Myra smiled, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Ah, you seek the heart of the kingdom, but do you expect to find it in the grand palaces? It lives in the everyday moments of kindness, in the work of hands and the love of the neighbors." Celestia spent the day with the villagers, helping them with their work and listening to their stories. She learned how they shared their harvests, cared for their sick, and helped each other through difficult times. Celestia's heart swelled with love for these people, and she realized that the true strength of the kingdom lay in the kindness and cooperation of its people. The Forest of Echoes. Next, Celestia ventured into the Forest of Echoes, a mystical place where the trees seemed to speak in whispers and the air was thick with magic. As she wandered deeper into the forest, she met a young woman named Selene, who was gathering herbs. "Who are you?" Celestia asked, curious. "I am a healer," Selene said, offering Celestia a smile. "I help the creatures of the forest and the people of the kingdom stay well." Celestia marveled at the way Selene moved through the forest, her every step as if the tune with the land itself. "Do you ever feel lonely here in the deep forest?" Celestia asked. "Loneliness is not something that bothers me," Selene answered. "For I know that the forest is alive with stories. The trees remember, the streams hum songs, and the animals share their tales. You see, the forest has its own language." Celestia spent several days with Selene, learning about the healing herbs, enchanted by the woodland animals, and listening to the ancient songs of the trees. She discovered how the kingdom's magic was interwoven with nature, and how the forest, while wild, was full of healing, balance, and wisdom. The Mountain of Stars. Celestia's final stop was the Mountain of Stars, where the highest peaks kissed the sky. It was said that those who reached the summit would have their deepest wish granted. The climb was difficult. The air grew thinner with each step, but Celestia was determined. After many days of climbing, she reached the summit, where an old sage named Orin waited. "You have made it, Princess Celestia," the sage said, his voice like the wind. "I have been waiting for you." "I've traveled far," Celestia said, catching her breath, "but I still don't fully understand what makes this kingdom so special." "Ah." Orin looked at her with a knowing smile. "You have traveled to the heart of the kingdom, my dear. The kingdom's heart is not in any one place. It is in the people, in the land, and in the love that connects them all. Its heart beats in the kindness of the villagers, the wisdom of the forest, and the strength of the mountains." Celestia understood then. The kingdom's heart was not something she could see with her eyes or touch with her hands, but something she could feel in her soul. It was the bond that tied it all together. Whether it was the people of the quiet villages, the sage of the towering mountains, or the songs and creatures of the lands and forests. Coming home, Celestia returned to the castle, her heart full of joy and understanding. She enthusiastically shared her stories with her father, and he listened with great interest as she spoke of the kindness of the villagers, the wisdom of the forest, and the strength of the mountains. "Father," Celestia said, "I understand now. The kingdom's true strength lies not in the riches or castles, but in the love and unity of its people and community with its lands." King Rowan smiled proudly. "You've learned the most important lesson of all, my daughter. And you will be one to carry this knowledge forward as you rule with wisdom and compassion. And so Princess Celestia became a wise and beloved queen, ruling with her heart full of kindness, knowing that the heart of the kingdom beats in the hearts of all its people. The kingdom flourished, and Celestia's reign was a time of peace, prosperity, and harmony. The people sang songs of her wisdom, and the land thrived under her care. And they all lived happily ever after.